This is the best and only side setup video you will ever need to watch for the next 2 years. Why should you listen to me? I used to play in Challenger League, and I'm also a top 1% player in rank 3.0. And if you set up site wrong after watching this video, he might be out to get you. But these setups will not be some TikTok BS strat. These will be simple, usable in all ranks from copper to champion, and flexible for solo and stack gameplay. Because we always gotta be ready for those randoms reinforcing the rotates. There will be timestamps below so you can skip to any site and come back to the video whenever you need. Thank you guys for showing support on the previous setup video years ago. And it would only make sense to remake the video 2 years later for Casino and Fortress rework. Like the video if this helped, subscribe for more R6 tips, and enjoy the video. I'm also giving away a free battle pass in the comments below to someone who comments their favorite change about the new season. Otherwise, be sure to use creator code Athieno when checking out R6 credits for your battle pass. To defend kids bomb site correctly on Oregon, we're going to be starting off with keeping this wall closed with any kind of wall denial. Then we're going to make head holes on whites, shoot any glass off the windows. So you want to make sure you just shoot in like an X formation, any kind of a zombie or a Rooney to really just create obstacles so they can't just walk in. Thorn traps on white. I put it like right here. You can put a thorn trap for like big window hopping, any trophy. You basically just want to keep it as like a sound cue and make sure they don't just walk up on you. Then next you're going to bring obviously like wall denial, Cade, but I brought the Valkyrie. The Valkyrie is just for any kind of late round information. This could be for like sight. This could be for like any kind of like, you know, mid round when anyone kind of gets picked off. But you're gonna early hold master side, armory, just a little bit, shoot some drones, but you don't want to die over here. It's mainly just a pretty simple bunker. Hold it here. If you're gonna be roaming off site, you want to contest anybody coming out small tower side, watch the freezer walk up, or bottom main stairs. But pretty simple. If anyone's on any kind of rappel, you can go for a small tower run out all the way over there to kill anyone on the balcony, or you can flank bottom meeting, but that's pretty risky. Otherwise, you can just go for a basic main flank, just watch for flank cams, but very simple. This is how you defend it in champion elo. Moving on to Oregon basement, we're going to be having a basic elbow extension with a shield. Jaeger will is not needed, but you know, it can help because sometimes they might not commit to a bunker push. The next, we're going to be making a rotate here. All you really need to do is be able to see, you know, into the double door, reinforce on the right side and head holes so you can contest. Then you're going to make head holes above high. So this way you can see T1 clearly. Head holes here to contest, reinforcement here so you can get shot from the hatch, and then head holes here so you can also contest. Now, the main goal here is to funnel them down main, freezer, T1, force them to get the hatch open, and bunker. Not a lot of roaming is needed. You only want to roam if they seem to be like executing on you really well. So you can just do a soft roam by shooting drones top freezer, maybe a light security roam upstairs. But I have Melusi's on every single walk down on freezer. I have one for main. I have one for back T1 stairs and bunker. So that way every entry has time to contest. Aruni's on the long angle, so that way she can kill anyone with the ACOG. All the hatches are reinforced. K-Claw's mainly on the E-box hatch and the freezer one, the usually hardest choke points. A zombie is going to be helping out, playing in the open areas to contest, and obviously Ward and bunker for his glasses. You can be very flexible with these operators. And I have a bulletproof camera for pillar or any kind of information, but you want to make sure you always have traps on any staircase or entrance, or else they could crash down on you. And these freezer holes, we did mess up a little bit, but you typically just want to do about knee level on all the way through, so that way the person playing laundry can contest these very easy. The best way to defend meeting by default is to reinforce stage wall with some wall denial. You can put a BP here just in case, and you can reinforce these walls with some wall denial. Castle or Aruni is good for any kind of just blocking off a lot of doors. We're gonna make a rotate on the right side here, rotate security so that we can extend and control white too. Any kind of trap operator like Thorn would be really good for the bottom freezer staircase. We're casting off small tower just so that way we can just eliminate that map control, because we'll be holding upstairs. You can make big window holes to see from below, and we're going to open up the hatch so we can contest above. We're mainly holding above so we can stop the vertical play, which is why we'll have our kids rotate too, and then we'll be reinforcing the attic walls so we can use hatch against anyone opening up this wall. But it's a second floor extension. If you want to leave site, go for it, because sometimes the picks are needed. Otherwise, you guys can just force them to try to walk in sight. Be okay with them retaking. But that's why we have all these head holes here and rotates. So this way we can move freely around the site without feeling like we're trapped like a fish. So we set this up a little wrong, but this shield would be good like back here. A shield's not necessary, but also Goyle on every kind of entrance, like white door, you could do dining door, you could do stage, but any kind of denial was good. You basically just want to hold as much map control as you can on this site. All right, to defend small tower correctly, we're going to be reinforcing the wall fully because it's just not worth it with the DMRs looking through these holes and late round when Clash gets pushed back. But we'll be having a Rooney DMR with a BP cam or barbed just for some extra protection on here. Clash will be contesting anybody trying to walk in here. As Warden or anyone with a shield, you can play inside of showers here. So this way you can contest footholds here and force them to walk through a little choke point here. With these castles up, it's going to help us a lot with rotates. Same with this one right here. We're going to have some sort of trap for our backside. You always want to look for the gaps. The gaps are like a definitely any walk up. Cade will be circling between kitchen and security here. And then you want a very light up top hold. This is going to be like optional reinforcements for Master Wall. You don't have to though, but like we're going to play a little bit of vert up here just to make sure that, you know, they don't really kind of get it, and we can always have power positions for a late round just in case they do end up pushing you up here. But you always want to like generally hold top floor of a first floor site. But yeah, very light hold upstairs, lightly hold small tower, watch the backstab on the backside, but the Cade helps out a lot too. Make an extension in security, and again, it's just a game of just a very open site. Play for kills. If you want 30 days of free coaching from me and other Siege creators, then check out the link below for more info. To defend Gym correctly, we're going to be bringing a reinforcement here with a rotate and feed holes here so you can see in the side of the site from people walking in. A castle to protect them from the window. A castle on all the windows. And two brow will be playing this Mira to deny anything on the wall. Cade will be putting his Cade on the wall. And then we'll have some traps for main stairs, like a thorn mine and some barbed wire. Then Cade will be playing Logi, playing a C4 on the hatch if needed. Another mirror if you need to defend late round. Some con reinforce. Then we're going to be making 2 reinforcements on cache and 2 reinforcement server. This way we can extend into cache and contest, you know, all this map control. It's optional to put a shield right here on red. If you don't have any traps for bottom, just be careful. But this is so you can contest anyone walking in. And then while you fall off, make sure this mirror or this castle is closed and you just come back. But a cache extend is extremely optional. You don't have to do it all the time, but this is just keep in mind, you should always contest it a little bit. Otherwise, you can just totally give up cache, reinforce this off, and then just do the basic setup that we just been showing here. If anything, just double down on utility and traps and ACOGs. ACOGs are very strong here, but as long as you guys hold Logi, breach walk in, any type of window congestion, and anyone pushing in the con from outside, you're chilling. Now to defend CCTV correctly, you will want to hold this wall down. Make sure they don't open it if you have two brow. Shoot some holes on the outside before you reinforce it. That way Bandit can hear the sound better. But if you can keep this wall closed, you not only save garage, but you also just force them to funnel through doorways too. So Bandit and Walden Out is good. We're going to be reinforcing the middle here with the head holes on the left and rotate on the right. Reinforce this so he can get a shot from the breach. Zombie playing rafters so we can control his garage. This is castled or Aruni. So this way Bandit can play uncontested. Reinforcement here. Gate as well to help for the walk-ins. Reinforcement there. Aruni's mainly just going to be playing all these long nails that she has right here. You know, whatever it may be. Then Bandit will be playing to trick the wall. Mia's two bro will be up here. Then as they get the wall open later in the round, we can just sit on red here. While Castle will be playing downstairs to make sure there's no one kind of like prevents like getting downstairs control. He can also help out the garage player as well. And these holes down here, if you guys make holes, you can help Castle downstairs from stock. But yeah, Aruni can play the vert to see the stock door walk in there, and also the other door that's over here as well. Azami is basically playing here to die, so make sure you have a player that's committed, but try to hold on garage as long as you can, hold the main wall, and you're chilling. All right, to defend downstairs church on club, we're gonna be first starting off with a double reinforcement here with some head holes here. Goyos to kind of stall out time at the very end. You want to make these rotate so you can see bottom main, so you can walk in and see the hatch. Valk will play C4 downstairs. As you can see, her Valk cams are going to be scattered around site and on the kitchen. But we're going to have a Goyle count on dirt door, any kind of trap operator, so that way you can hear anyone in dirt. Reinforce both the dirt walls. Reinforcement in here with a rotate and another rotate. Reinforcement in the middle with full holes here. Any kind of trap on secret, another Goyle can. And this thorn mine is really good here because if they walk down, it's very hard to see. And while they're aiming down, by the time that they see it, they'll try to run back, but the gas pipe will get them. It's a like 50% guaranteed kill. Then Cage is going to be, you know, cading off the Moto hatch, the kitchen hatch, and he's just playing TCSG on site. And then we're going to be putting another good thorn spot. Shout out to Pox for this one. You'll put a barbed wire halfway on main, so that when they walk halfway down, when this door mine goes off, they either have to sprint into the barb and die or run away and take a lot of damage or die. But make sure you guys get all the hatches. It's very easy to, you know, assume someone's getting them. Scopus will have her drone downstairs, but she's going to be playing very light for contestation above here. As you can see, she can punch holes here. She can see kitchen. She can see the kitchen hatch. And when she's getting pressured out, all she has to do is back up, swap her drone, and then she's back on site. But you do want to make sure you always have some sort of contestant upstairs. Otherwise, they're just going to take the map control for free. They're going to make vert and open the hatch on you for free. So always contest a little bit. Waste one roamer if you need to. A minute 30 is all you need to waste on the roam. And then otherwise, you play them into the site. And that's how you do it. If for some odd reason you guys go bar and ranked, I don't know why you did, but let's just actually reinforce the site correctly. Now, all we really need to do is keep it basic. It's not too strict because it's just pure gunfights. Think of it as an aggressive TDM type of map. Reinforce the full table walls, stock walls. Can't go wrong with the cage. Some head holes here to contest the hallway or kitchen. Or if you're trapped out of sight, you can use these against them. And you can use any kind of DMR behind this here. Reinforce these walls. Just trap up sight. Board it up. I don't care what you do. And then you're going to send one person downstairs in the basement to play bottom main or even go flank up blue stairs late round. But we want roam presence. We don't want everybody hiding on site. 2 is enough. And then we're going to come up here, reinforce the jacuzzi walls, optional, depending on the rank that you're in. And then we're just kind of holding upstairs. We can make vert above anywhere in sight if we wanted to. We can also use this hatch against them to, you know, see this wall or drop. But you want to reinforce this wall so that way you don't get, you know, pressured while you're on this hatch. And also that castle helps a lot too. Otherwise, you're kind of just playing off sound and roam. It's really just simple. It's not too strict of a site setup. You guys can roam, do whatever you need to do. Just try to get like 2 kills, then come back to site. But very easy. Just play with confidence. And don't forget to use code Athieno for 10% off your gamer subs. To defend top floor correctly, we're going to be making head holes on connector here with the reinforcement. So this way we can contest into the breach. Then we have goils for the main window hop in here for CEO. We'll be playing a shotgun close on yellow or here is good with some thorn traps. This goil can could probably be moved to like right here if needed for late round. Foot holes here or head holes here so you can contest anyone on the bathroom right here. Some head holes here, reinforcement. Then moving on to over here, we have a Denari to deny anywhere long desk. Goil can again to deny. Thorn trap for information. Denari could play here with a shield. Reinforcement here so they can't see in this corner. Then obviously projectile wall is going to be cated off. And then we'll have a goil can for late round. We're mainly just contesting admin and coffin for a little bit early with some traps down. But main goal here is to hold on to admin, contest as long as you can. If they don't push, then watch spiral, visa, pro walk-in, or yellow. It depends on where they push. But make sure you push into the setup and not swing too early and get picked off. To defend downstairs correctly, we're going to be going ahead and bringing wall denial for this wall. It's very easy to get the stuff on the wall, so we're going to be okay with getting it open, which is why we have the zombies to contest. Cade as well can see for anyone on vert. We have traps all over yellow for protection. So you always want to bring protection. We have a K-claw for the hatch. This reinforcement, it can be left or right, depends on how you want to play. If you're playing yellow, you definitely want this reinforced. If not, this is okay for a wider swing too. Head holes here, reinforcement here, gates all over the site just for protection. Again, just any kind of traps for sound cue. I have a thorn trap here for the anyone who drops his hatch will die instantly to the thorn. Then we have the back secret wall reinforced. Now I'm going to be playing over here holding server. Rest of them will be on site, and then the Valkyrie can be roaming upstairs. Even I can roam upstairs, even if need be. Otherwise, he'll just be getting hatches, put a C4 down so that way we have two potential C4s. If we put a Valcam anywhere in piano, doesn't really matter. Otherwise, the main goal here is to make sure they don't walk in breach, make sure they don't push the backside, and as well, just stay away from any kind of vertical play. But this is a long bomb site, so make sure you guys are staying alive for the end game. Now, the only reason if you go pianos is if you're Beethoven or if you won 2 of your defense rounds. But go ahead and slap on some footholes here for the walk-in, open up the hatch, make a rotate on the left side because sometimes you might pop the right one. I'll learn the hard way. Make some footholes here on the wall. Make some reinforcements. These footholes are mainly just in such a narrow site. These footholes will help out just with the flow of lines of sight. I don't know what that running gate's doing there, but we're just reinforce that. Make sure the gates are just anywhere in sight, honestly, is okay. Thorn traps to kind of help out with any kind of sound cue for any doors. But while they hold downstairs like that, we're gonna have some vertical gameplay of Solus, Valkyrie, any kind of info operator. We're gonna be holding on for the vert upstairs to help out with sights. Same with this one over here. We can also reinforce that pro wall so we don't get contested too much. Then we have vertical for end game here. vertical for the site walk-in, but we're basically just supporting them from a different floor. The hatch shows up right here. But yeah, it's a pretty loose site. Just play off picks, trying to die too early, and you're chilling. Now, for obvious reasons, no one should ever go archives unless you guys have some weird ass strat. But I'm only going to show you guys how to defend top floor, basement, and piano, because those are the only 3 that you'll ever need to defend. But yeah, we're going to skip that bomb site because it's a waste of time and you don't even know how to set it up. Moving on to bank, let's defend top floor correctly. We're going to bring wall denial for this wall, reinforce 1 with head holes so we can test square. This reinforcement so whoever's playing in janitor can play it safe. And then rotate holes. Never really make multiple ones because you're just very vulnerable. Makes a lot of sound. We're going to be bringing castle for the windows to block off banana walk-in and also the window on this side so that way they can't roll a grenade onto the panel. Rooney is just going to put it anywhere around site just to make them, you know, harder to walk in. Now we have a lot of holes, but this is that way because it's a very big map. Different people in different positions can play the refrags. So if you get overwhelmed by the holes, it's okay to close them off. But if you have a coordinated team, this will help out a lot for being able to see multiple positions late round. Now we have stock hold with a shield, very, very default. These full holes are so that way whoever's playing in janitor, or you can just kind of try to like contest it and make presence. My is okay for this, but you know, sometimes you can't sacrifice the utility. We have thorn mines for every single hop in. Now, we do have a Valkyrie. Valkyrie is to help out, you know, just with any like information later in the round. How do you do it is you just watch out the windows, be wary of them, shoot the glass out of them so you can hear it. Contest square, contest stock, and then try to defend as long as you can until you get pushed back. Play refrags, have traps in the staircase, and really it's just trying to hold on to as much line of sight as possible is really the goal here. But that's how you defend top floor, and that's how we do it. Now to defend basement bank, really easy. You're gonna bring a tuber out to stop them from getting the hatch as long as you can, or even the main wall here. Then Smoke's gonna bring his shield along with a shotgun and make lots of rotates. And then we'll have Aruni to obviously deny any kind of sight denial, along with Goyo. Goyos can be put like anywhere that are hard to see, so that way you can deny a lot of time. We'll have the Aruni BP. Any kind of information for garage is very good. And then Kate will be holding the backside. And then Goyle can like play for an early roam, but you don't need to roam too much on this site, just depending on how they play a little bit. But you know, he can be like a flexible offsite to like just early contest. But bank is very like dependable on if they get the hatches open and how much line of sight you have down here. So really just try to make them push into you. Early roam really wastes a lot of time and distraction for keeping the hatch open. But otherwise, you could extend in the server, but it's very optional. You would need a big team to do that. You would just hold a smoke on blue stairs with a Jaeger, close off this hatch with Cade. But let's keep it simple because a lot of you guys are so low-key watching this, but just mainly just do this. It's just as simple as sitting in sight and waiting for a plan. A lot of people overcomplicate it, but it's really that simple. And late round, if they do have the hatches open and they're about to go for a plant, but they're holding you from the hatch, it is not a bad idea to send 1 or 2 people upstairs to contest the people on the hatch, because as a defender, if you can retake the hatch, it is a very crucial spot. You can see any planter on the other side. All right, so you've won 2 defenses. Now we gotta go open. Now, if you have no idea, you just want to bring our lineup here, just a general test. So Aruni is for all the doorway walk-ins, so that way you can feel safe. A reinforcement here from the window. A zombie keepers for anywhere you feel like it's a very open area, because it is. Kato is playing on the side while his K-claws are just gonna be on the wall. And either hatch, whatever you guys feel more comfortable closing off. And then you'll bring a mute. So this way you can't get caught by Dokubi 2 times in sight. But his jammers will also go for the doorways over here, so we can't get droned much and play this close quarter area with SMG-11 shotgun combo. Vigil will be upstairs, you know, roaming around, trying to like waste time, shoot drones. If possible, we would get some sort of trap operator, any kind of barb or whatever on the main bottom staircase. And the last reinforcements can go for these lone walls here. So obviously you can have some safe, you know, safe angle holding here with some footholds and maybe a optional rotate right here. So that way, you know, you don't always have to go through here. You can just walk through open. You said it's like a big donut, basically. You just waste a little bit of time outside of sight, pressure him to walk in. But late round is going to be very hard for open as you have so many lines of sight and traps to work off of. So just try not to die too early and force them to come in. Moving on to Kanal. Kanal is out of the rotation right now, but you're going to need to know how to do it when the mid-season map rotation comes in. So bring in Rooney with a BP facing to Skybridge. Then we'll be having Thorn put all of our traps on Skybridge, red stairs, and green stairs. Last one can be wherever you want. Now we're gonna make footholes here, so that way we can see anyone walking Skybridge. Two-Brow will be helping Cade keep this wall closed with a lay it round a Rooney as well. We have barbed wire on the bottom of both of these staircases. Thorn trap can even go right here is good. They added a gas pipe here, so you definitely want to pop this early round. Keep this wall closed. You always want a person top green, top red, and like somewhere Skybridge side, able to hold Skybridge. If you can hold these 3 map controls, you win the game. You can even let them have the breach open, but this way all 3 players can help each other out when one dies. And then Valkyrie will be downstairs, you know, just to contest anyone or go for a run out, because you don't need all people on site, but obviously someone's gonna die eventually. But you can fill, but just play around the site and y'all chilling. Pretty win. Moving on to basement, we're gonna be reinforcing this wall with some head holes here. Then we'll be making main stairs holes. This is mandatory, so you can see main stairs. Full reinforce this. I know some people like leaving this open. It's up to you guys, but I feel like it's just better to make less holes in sight, because this is obviously a pretty safe spot for people to play. So this is one less angle to watch. Now, Malusi's for every single walk-in paired up with thorns. So that's way you can definitely kill someone on the walk-in. Thorn trap right here would be really nice. Cade for all the hatches. I'm Two-Brow for C4 below with the Valkyrie cameras that we have, and she's playing upstairs. We got Two-Brow to deny the hatches and just DMR for kills. And then Thorn, you know, anyone could be playing this contest upstairs for about like maybe I'd say 1 minute, minute 30 max. Come back downstairs, play the C4s into the DMRs, and that's how you do it. You just gotta like make sure that they don't hop in these windows. If they do, it's guns on sight. You got to kill them before they obviously walk in and kill everyone else. So that's how you do it. And let's move on to the last one. All right, so you won 2 of your defenses. Now you're on maps. You're gonna want to bring a Malusi for all the walk-ins. So this Malusi actually could be further down along with these thorn traps. You want to make sure no one walks to the bridge. It could be a main door. These moves are a little shallow, but we'll allow it. But yeah, traps on everywhere. We're gonna make feet holes here, so that way we can contest anybody walking green. One person can play here. One person can play sight. And then like honestly, bottom red is cool too. You know, just kind of contesting whoever's coming in from. The mute jammers are just mainly for intel. Obviously with Dokubi and Deimos being very strong. Same with Snake. They're very good against those roamers right now, or roam clears. And then Valkyrie camps, obviously, you know, just default good information. But we're gonna be reinforcing upstairs with a basic setup, so this way we can hold the vert a little bit. Skybridge is the one spot we do want to watch, but we're not here to die. We're just here to waste time. Again, minute 30 is good, and then we're gonna fall back. But yeah, that's the whole rotation. You can make vert above is optional. It could help out a little bit for wherever you're defending. This could also be a reinforce as well. But it's a very loose site. Just play for gunfights. Keep it simple. Play with confidence. Now, moving on to one of the best maps in rank right now, which is Chalet. We're going to be starting off with a full reinforce with reinforcement here, so you can peek out. Cade claw for the wall. Again, rotate goes on the right side here. Oh, but you can be seen from big window. Well, don't just stand right here. And if you're going to defend piano, don't stand in front of it. But this way, you can be safe from rotating to K9 as well, because K9 guy would be able to see very far in, but these head holes are so you can throw anything over. And Thorn is just making sure no one walks up Solarium. The Naris are for any kind of late walk up, as long as for the windows here. Rooney, DMR, self-explanatory. Me and Azami will be playing a little bit off site to contest. Got some Denari lasers for here and a shield. If you're wondering where this Denari tech came from, this came from Ambi, who plays for Shopify Rebellion, one of the best players in the world, and this was a little popularized for a bit. But Denari is very optional. You can just bring another trap operator. Don't mind, but you know, just a regular extension hold. Barbed wire for any of the bottom of the staircases, and then I can help Azami with, you know, watching windows from below, as well as this one too. But yeah, very light roam. If you're getting pressured off or if you're getting hunted by main door, I'm just gonna go ahead and leave up, down, or down blue. But very simple. All right, moving on to basement. We're gonna be bringing wall denial and Two-Brow for the wall. This is the win condition right here. Cade most likely be banned. This is why we have a bandit. Now, I meant to put Cade on a vigil, but he can just roam anywhere. He could be another trap operator too. Trap operator wouldn't be that bad here as well. Two-Brow's playing for sights. Azami will be playing for the backside, just to, you know, do some basic Azamis and holding on for some pressure. And then obviously the Rooney DMR could be used for the roam too. And if you go all the way up here after getting all the hatches reinforced, you can go up here and get a very nasty angle right here. So we open up this and you can see all the way outside. That way you can get a safe angle onto there. And if you really want to, you go for a hop out, but you need to make sure you open this window late or prep it, and at least know which side the claymore is at. Very simple. Just play downstairs. That's why you need people roaming, is you don't want them to make vert above you, which is why you want like the vigil over the Cade. Rooney also roaming upstairs. Kill the vert player or kill one player, then come back downstairs. But playing basement without a roam is a very risky and even a death sentence if they get the back open too. Moving on to bar. Now bar is actually one of the better sites on Chalet to throw your enemies off and also just have a more in-depth gameplay. We're going to be bringing a warden for a shield top blue and shotgun to make rotates. MPX is preferred, but shotgun to help out with rotates. Valkyrie will be early roaming around dining side or any kind of trap operator that can play pretty self-efficient. Then we're gonna bring the Rooney for DMR and just gates all around. Thorn for traps, literally just any entrance of the site, keeping it safe. Omai will be just playing sites. Sometimes people can play in the corner over here, but if you're not confident in it, it's okay. Just refill this window with Wamai's and along with this door too. And I'll be playing upstairs to hold blue shield and to support my teammate downstairs. But this way, if I get flashed out, I can just pop the warden. But if they clear the shield, that's okay too. I personally think it's better to open this because if we're going to be playing up here, it's very crucial that we can help out in sight. So I'd move this reinforcement to here so we can play this hatch a little bit better. Rooney will be playing top mez with these reinforcements, all reinforced up here, so that way we can hold up here safely and not get pushed as much. This BP can also be moved to about right here so we can see the lobby. You want to hold vertical no matter what for at least a minute and a half until you get pushed out. But if they push you out a lot, me just spending a lot of time on you, you're doing your job as a roamer, and then you're gonna just fall back to site around a minute, and then yeah, play the walk down. That's how you do it. Moving on to dining. Dining arguably is the best bomb site on Chalet, arguably, depending on who you're facing up against. But again, wall denial, feet holes, gate, reinforcement, shield, holes. This gate could probably move somewhere else, but it's fine. Traps on the bottom. We're missing some traps. And window hop in. Boom. Trophy window. This barbed wire. Don't ignore it. Then we're going to go ahead and reinforce with head holes here. We're holding upstairs. Shoot glass on windows. Move this reinforcement here. And then big window congestion with some footholds there. With a rotate anywhere or some sort of head holes here. Rotate honestly not needed, but then we'll be doing a regular reinforcement. This is to keep the wall closed with some head holes, and then Vigil will start roaming library side, and eventually we all flood back solar over here, and then play any kind of holes. And then late round we deny them with smokes on site. You know, I'll probably be playing the smoke down here and throwing smokes over on my shield. Once I make this a walkable rotate. Boom. Meant to do that, obviously. But yeah, that's how you defend dining. Easy. All right, moving on to Cafe, one of the hardest maps in the game for people to learn and get good at. We're starting off with a Mira. If Mira is banned, you can just go ahead and run someone else with some sort of like anchor info. It doesn't have to be Echo or Maestro. Literally just anyone else with a gun on the trap op would be okay. I mean, 2 Barado DMR will also be the best one to do. Or my head hole, so this way if you hop on top of here, you can easily see into here. This Armory gate is okay. We're gonna go ahead and put a mirror here so we can see all of Cigar. These 2 reinforcements. Warren will be playing here with a shield. The reason why I don't have a zombie is because we're in a DMR meta. Aruni will get shredded and you'll just die here because you have no protection. We have thorn traps for all the drop downs. Valkyrie downstairs to play anything for like runouts or whatever it may be. Very, very simple. The idea here is to not get picked early off of windows. Make sure to shoot glass off the windows. That anyone's repelling under window. You know, try to hide the rip by shooting your gun a bit, ripping it, and then boom. You know what I'm saying? Get that freebie on that Blackbeard on your window. Yeah, very simple sight. Again, try not to die too early because you guys have this whole setup for sight. Even without the mirror, it's crucial that you guys try to get a pick or 2 early on, but you know, just play each other's trades, watch White walk up late round, and y'all chilling. All right, moving on to a kitchen setup. Now, you don't need much vertical here, but if they are making a lot of vert, it would be wise to go contest them. But you'll just send like 2 roamers upstairs. But let's get it. Let's do a bakery rotate on the right side with a reinforcement. Same with the red holes here. And then along with a freezer walls over here with a gate, castles. I have a BP for the back of whiskey over there. Reinforcement. Footholes, holes over so you can go ahead and C4. Super Owl is good for just keeping the walls closed. Cade obviously is good for everywhere. And then you'll have the bake player just be anyone, you know. You can do a zombie, warden, whoever it may be. But this is a very just general site setup. Don't worry too much about the move setups. These are just regular ones. Also, don't ask about the castle barricades being broken. I might have used my Armory punch and we found out what would happen. If you are playing with a regular team, not a 5-stack, then actually just reinforce both of these walls and reinforce both the bake, and then let your roamers do the rest, because too many holes sometimes can fuck you over. That's why you always want to keep it simple. This is going to apply for other maps too. Just be aware of how you do it. But for the most part, it's very good to get used to these rotates, especially in rank 3.0. If you're facing more of a regular roam clearing team, reinforce both these walls, replace like the 2 brow and maybe the castle for like 2 roamers upstairs, and then the rest of you guys just stay sight. That's how you do it. All right, reading bomb site is one of the better sites for throwing a top team off guard, but you can go ahead and reinforce both these walls with a banshee on the walk-in and possibly even a thorn for this snow walk-in here. Rotate on the left side crouched, footholes all across site, reinforcement here. We're going to go ahead and reinforce this with some holes here. This banshee could be a lot lower down. Then we'll rotate there, then shoot the glass off the windows. Any white player like me or anyone who else is in sight can play this to contest the white hall, while one person will play with full reinforced behind a shield here, or even to start with a early roam here. Valkyrie will be roaming mining side because we want map control all across. Now this bomb site, you're basically playing both second and first, all of the first floor, so that's why it's very important to be roaming up here. We can also take off this reinforcement, and you can reinforce both the red walls if optional. You can even make footholes for when they drop, but that's purely up to you. If you want to, you can reinforce this wall too, so this way you can kind of like boogie in and out, try the hole here again. When you keep getting pushed back, then you'll just push back into here. Well, you see it's a series of, if they don't clear me, I stay. If they clear me, I move back a bit. You want to hold upstairs for about, maybe, I'd say about 2 minutes max. A minute left, then you can fall back down, or you can play retake late round. But that's mainly the goal, is you're just trying to waste time. And then, yeah, you just come down here. You can make holes here if you want to. Throw smoke, hit the Rudy gate. If you, wait, there is no Rudy gate. This one should be moved over here. But yeah, very simple. Don't mind the utility on here. We just got viewers to do this, but this setup will work in most rinks. Well, it should. Just, you know, have better trap placement. All right, now back to the last site, mining. Mining, honestly, is probably the last site you would go to, but for some reason, if your teammate makes a call to go here, then how you'll set it up is you'll reinforce this wall so you can see holes onto this window. Reinforce all 3 of these walls, and a Melusi for anyone in the site, along with a Rooney gates for protection. We're gonna just reinforce the hatch for now, just because if they do take vert, then that way they can't get like a direct access because this looks over the rotate. Then we'll have full off white reinforcement there, put holes on both of here, and then we have a rotate and a reading just in case we need to move around site. Again, we have that 360 rotation going on. Traps anywhere you like. Pulse is actually downstairs to C4 anybody below for late round, but he's also just making sure no one's lurking downstairs. And then Gamer Guy and me as a Rooney will be lurking up top. So it's almost a 3-story hold, but basement is optional, but you definitely don't want to be playing only one floor here. You always want to be roaming, and this way we can also pressure outside if we really need to. But this is how you do it. And then we can make vert above sight of the window here. Boom. Free angle. And then last, you could like go over pillar as well, contest anybody coming pillar in snow. That's how you do it. All right, moving on to Armory, one of the most aggressive maps in ranked. We'll be having a smoke or a Rooney playing these header holes right here. You get full reinforces up if you're not holding CCTV though with the Rooney gate. Then we'll have Cade be holding this wall down. Thorn will have chops on all staircases. Then me as a zombie, we already have chops on metal. We'll be holding a CCTV, trying to waste time. That's mainly what we'll be doing. And then contesting anyone coming through east just a little bit, but that's the main motive. We're gonna drop off here once we feel like we're getting really pressured, and we can fall off, put the zombie here if we need to. Worst case, we kind of just leave this, leave it the same. You can make full holes here if you wanted to too, like right there. But yeah, we're gonna hold off this a little bit late, and then very last resort, we'll play into archives. But you know, depending on how the picks go, it should be a very aggressive hold. If you're solo queue, you should at least still do the CCTV rotate once or twice before if you lose it. Otherwise, yeah, it's better just to reinforce off these extra holes that we have here, especially fountain as well. And also for the triple wall here, This thorn can play safely behind this reinforcement as long as, you know, this doesn't get too contested as well. Now, bathroom is one of the best bomb sites in Border, so probably about the second best, I'd say. Smoke will just be playing for sight. They'll have a shield about right here instead of barbed wire. Make a rotate into here. Now, reinforcing the vent walls is only if they start pushing here a lot, but most teams will be pushing upstairs. We have this castled off for our late round roamers. We have banshees just for any kind of sight walk in. And then Melusi will kind of help watch bottom downstairs. Then if we go upstairs, you can actually see anyone walking up there too, which is nice. Then we'll have this castled off, but if we come inside, we'll be playing the vert along with this hatch being opened up. We have fountain walls reinforced along with armory walls, at least one of them. We did the wrong side, but it's gonna be this one right here, so this way you can kind of play aggro a little bit. But yeah, that's how we'll do it. We have the late drop here, so we'll drop when we're getting pressured, try to get a pick or two. Otherwise, yeah, it's a very roamy bomb site. We have cap kit as well for any kind of sneaky walk-ins as well. Guaranteed a cap kit trap is going to go off. But yes, be aware of the horizontal take. If they start pushing horizontal, then we can go and play customs, play above them over here. That's how you do it. Very, very simple. Just keep it okay and don't die too early. All right, workshop definitely is a later resort to winning, but this is kind of like when you're up 2-0, but you're gonna defend it really much the same way as you would for bathroom. We're gonna make head holes, rotate. You can even make more holes here as well. And we'll have Aruni gates, traps, anything for the main door or for the walk-in. We even have Goyo here to drop the block the drone hole. And overall, just so we can pop a late round. Then we just open up a hole in the bathroom. You can even see for the window hop in. This is so that way we can, again, have that like rotation freedom outside of sight. We have the customs full reinforced over there, but the castle is going to be very important for upstairs. As you can see, we have castle barricade for metal. If we walk into here, then we have Cade closing off this wall and castle off so we can keep our back turns and look this way, look all over the site. A vertical is a win condition for this site. We're going to reinforce this hatch just because in case they do take it late round, because if we need line of sight, we can just see above normally. But yeah, that's really nice. We have a rotator over here. So everywhere you can help anyone, which is very, very nice. If anything, you could actually sacrifice one of the castles and put it upstairs here in office, which is nice, but really up to what you're comfortable with. But that's how you defend the ventilation. Let's get it. Now, I'm not going to go over customs just because I believe that's just probably one of the worst sites you can go, and you're better off just going one of these 3 bomb sites. But by all means, go ahead and try to play it however you'd like. But in my opinion, I don't want to teach you guys how to play a bomb site that I don't believe is strong. If you suck at defending Skyscraper, we're going to start with 2 reinforcements right here. Head holes are optional on this one, but if you're just going to just fall back, it's better off just do both with a reinforcement here so you can get wall banged. Head holes all over here, or feet holes, doesn't really matter as long as you can see. Feet holes here, head holes here, reinforcement here. Now this reinforcement is optional if you don't want to get a shot from the door. Otherwise, if you want to feel like you want to peek out through here, that's okay. Then you have a shield for top black right there. Rotate. We have thorn and capkin for just traps all around site on the staircases and doorways across the map. These are sneaky ones too. Bandit will be covering this wall. Then any Aruni will be putting her gadgets down. On the opposite side, you want to reinforce and hold here for about 1 minute and 30 seconds. So we have this wall closed, these 2, and this one here. Just all outside ones. Then they're going to funnel through the window, come up the staircase. That's where you can contest. Watch for your run back on this window, and that's how you do it. So just try to waste a little bit of time, at least half the round, and then you can eventually just migrate back to site. Now your second option would probably be Exhibition. Well, we want to keep this wall closed with the Cade and Tubrow, and we have some holes so we can see in the terrace, holes between site. You can also make this a rotate as well so you can keep moving in between. Then we have Goyle to waste time along with Aruni and Thorn Traps. Really, this will help out with any kind of the bottom of the staircase. We have a small rotate here, so this way we can just have a little bit of an extension. Because if you just only hold sight, you become a little bit easier to kill. But if we kind of hold a little bit over here, like how we did last time for T, then it will help out a lot. You're just going to shoot drones over here, but by the time they start opening doors up, it's very best to just fall back and play more of a safer angle and just keep falling back until you're back to site. Now, if you're feeling hungry and want to go a first floor bomb site on barbecue, we're going to full reinforce off this wall along with this wall here, so that way we can't be seen from the window, along with feet holes for anybody who walks in. We have castle barricades to kind of help out, hold downstairs a bit better with some holes here so we can see in the pantry. Moving on, we have head holes between all the sites. And then all from here too. Now, the main win condition here will be upstairs. Now, you can also put a trap on this door here with like a Rooney or something like that. Now, you can put traps upstairs too to help you out, but these walls are optional. You probably don't need these. These are just put up by someone, but hatch open here so this way we can see above. And with the castle shotgun or any other operator, we can see into sight. We can see into this side here on the side door. This will help out a lot just for making a bomb site easier to hold. Then your roamers on site, you know, or roamers around. You have Vigil Boss G, you got a Rooney DMR. Just go ahead and go frag out, you know, a little bit, because this bomb site is a little open, so don't be afraid to walk outside of it. Don't feel like you have to be so restricted. But that's how I would do it. Hold top a little bit, make sure the entrance points are contested, and pretty easy site. Now for the last site on Skyscraper, we're going bedroom. So we're going to be having just a Rooney for any traps around the site. We could probably put these against a little further out of sight. We have K to full close off these walls. Bathroom window fully covered with some vert and traps. The rest of you guys can stay on site. This will be reinforced as well, along with some holes above the window. More Rooney gates go around here as well, but you want to keep the traps more outside the site. Just for the, obviously besides the demonstration here, it should be a little bit further out. But we're gonna be again holding top floor again. Make sure you hold top floor with a buddy. Any kind of like info deny op would be pretty nice. Mute jammers they're useless against almost every single hard breacher in the game, except for Hibana. But besides that, it's just mainly for intel denial. K can help you out as well. Reinforce the hatch, make vert above anywhere that needs covering, and you're chilling. All right, moving on to a hookah defense. We're going to be going ahead and using reinforcements on the same default ways, same default rotates. Coastline hasn't changed much, except this should always be a crouch rotate instead of a vault, because vaults or rotates are low-key not meta anymore. You can be very vulnerable. Full reinforce off the wall. So this way, because, you know, hard breachers are meta right now, and we'll add some footholes so that way people can't be safe inside Aqua, along with opening the hatch. Leaving holes below default right here a bit. Make sure you shoot the window glass off on all of them. This wall should usually be reinforced, but sometimes if you want to full reinforce that off with the Gay Claw, that can help extend it in VIP. But totally optional. I'd recommend just doing that single one right there. But as we do that, obviously it's a very compact site, so you know you can have a roamer downstairs or two, like the Valkyrie. You can hold sunrise. Make sure no one's coming kitchen side or even lobby. But office is very, very popular because of the C4 below and blue bars. So you can test down here. And if any attacker tries to come push you up, they will be exposed to some feet holes that you can use all the way from lobby or just for pressure. Mess around downstairs, you know, use Solus, helps a lot with drones and utility. But yeah, you'll just be holding downstairs, and late round you could walk up, or you could try to deny plant downstairs, but obviously they can plant on the pool table, so you have to coordinate with their team about that. Moving on to Penthouse, this is arguably one of the second best bomb sites you should be going, especially with K2 brow. But the castle will help off for anyone dropping bathroom and big window presence. Also, this wall shouldn't be reinforced. This was a mistake. It should be head holes right here. Make a rotate here. Reinforcement at least in the middle is okay, just for some sort of cover. And then we'll have footholes for VIP. You can even full reinforcements off if needed. That's where this reinforcement can go, or like this long angle. K2 brow should be on this wall. You have Malusi Banshees on the walk-in with traps. Footholes all over bathroom. We're gonna have the wall full reinforced off. Head holes about almost everywhere this way, so you can kind of help contest your 90 player. But full holes on both of these here. Castle off the top door with a trap on the bottom there. And you can play 90. And you can be a supporting position for both of the hallways. Then a Malusi for a late walk-in here. So if you full reinforce this, you can wait for that Malusi to go off, and both teammates can get a crossfire right here, which makes it very hard to walk up. Optional for feet holes here, but not necessary. Castle right here, and yeah, that's how you do it. It's really just do not get picked off windows. Keep the K-tuber on the wall, and then you just play crossfires from there. Now moving on to kitchen, you definitely want to go for a ram ban here, but we're gonna get Goyles for sight. We can bring a Rooney as well. As any trap operator is okay. You can be very flexible. But your main goal is to frag outside of the site. We're going to be holding on to like basically the whole map. What I mean by that is that you're just going to like ideally want to play almost everywhere, because kitchen is exposed to horizontal and vertical. Obviously, you need to contest both in order to like maintain pressure. But it really depends on how the other team is playing too. They're playing very aggro. But we will be reinforcing this off so we can try to hold on to vert here. But if you have to give up to vert, it's at the end of the world. You'll just back up. You have plenty of hatches that you can go down. Otherwise, sunrise blue bar holds also very good too. Just make sure again you guys have at least 2 people off site, even 3. 3 people obviously is honestly like good for kitchen, but that's the main goal. Just roam, waste time, come back to site. Make sure you just only double reinforce that off. It's optional to make a rotate here, but if you're not going to be playing lobby heavy, then it's better just to close it off. Moving on to initiation on theme park, which will be in the map rotation very, very soon. Full reinforce off. A mirror here with head holes. If you don't have mirror, that's okay. Bring any other range operator info op. Again, mirror facing cache with some head holes. You can reinforce off vault. You can also reinforce off this wall, but you can make a rotate here. This actually isn't that bad to make a late round one, but just know the attackers can use it against you. Otherwise, we're going to be making some head holes here with a reinforcement here with full holes, so that's way you know you don't get too contested from here, and you can see to walk in if you make actually this is a little better. Otherwise, this is not necessarily needed, but it is good if you're going to try to be holding upstairs like this. And traps on bottom all the staircases, including yellow all the way over there for information. So make sure you guys are roaming over here as well. And if you actually go up to here and fully break this wall, Thermite will not be able to do some collateral damage. And it should be good just about past the fridge right here. So Thermite won't be able to get that damage on the wall. And yeah, that's very easy. Again, it's just a very spread out site. Try not to stay in sight too much and be good. Now for the daycare site, we'll be bringing a Rooney. Now this mirror is optional. If mirror is not on the board, it's better off just to fully reinforce this off with a Cade and 2-brow, which we keep the wall closed. And same logic for this one. If you don't have the mirror, we're just gonna Cade it off, 2-brow it. These Rooney traps and thorn traps can all just go at the bottom. We have head holes here on both sides, and then these two are reinforced, so we can contest Cafe just a little bit. And then yeah, traps on the bottom of the staircase and a rotate between site. Just be aware of anyone repelling on these windows and get a nice angle into sight, but you should be able to kill them off pretty soon. You'll have like one person maybe early. If again you don't have the mirror, it's okay to early roam both of these sides of the map, so that way you can shoot drones and again just early contest just a little bit, not too much though, because it's already a very large bomb site. It's okay. We're already extending a lot, so we don't have to do anything too crazy. But yeah, man, just be aware of early picks. Make sure you're watching your gaps in sight, and it's a very easy site to hold, especially if you keep the wall closed. All right, one of the easiest bomb sites in the game right here is Throne, because if you can keep these walls closed, it's literally GG for the other team into an Rudigate and 2 Goyles, which you should be popping about 40 seconds left of the match. Now, if you can keep 2-brow up, you can literally deny all of these. That is if they don't get destroyed, of course, but you have the Cade and Bandit to try your absolute best to keep the wall closed. A low nice spawn pick I always like to do here is just punching open this little bit. It's very low risk as well, because if you just want a tight angle, you just shoot a few bullets and you just leave. Otherwise, you need max maybe like 1 to 2 roamers here early round. Once you get a 5v4, you're good literally just to bring 4 people back to site, maybe 1 off site for a late flank and to waste time. Literally just try your best to make him sprint through here. You can even throw a C4 over 2-brow to slow him down if you wanted to, pop the Goyo, whatever it may be. All right, if you're feeling frisky and you want to go drug some way to throw him off, but I would not recommend this, only like a special case with a team. You're going to open up all of this with feet holes, reinforce both of this with a K-claw, traps anywhere for sight. Then yeah, that's you make a rotate. Then the main thing, castle as well. We can do castle this door. We're gonna castle off further into Throne here. So we go here, we're gonna make a rotate. So this way we can control a bit more map control as well around the sites. Then we'll have these walls reinforced, hatch open, and reinforce them for yellow. You see how it's a big, basically a big donut, so we can all help each other out. And a light vert hold will open up the hatch, maybe make some vert above the last castle up here. And yeah, this is how you just do it. Again, it's a very roam bomb site, not too strict. Just play with confidence, swing beat nets out. Now, when Villa is back in the map rotation, you're going to want to bring in a Zami, a Rooney, any kind of obstacles for sight with head holes on study. Don't full reinforce it up. Head holes in a bar, full rotate, reinforce, 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 full hole, boom. And then shoot cross off the 90 window. And then you're gonna be having anyone hold top main with some sort of utility, so that way they can't walk up. And the last 2 roamers can go ahead and go on the trophy side to contest, shoot drones. But you see we're holding basically as much map control as we can outside, and whatever they don't hold, we use against them. Now for trophy, we're gonna go ahead and bring a cage for the right side of the wall. Head holes, you can see all the way in a closet where Warden will be playing. It's optional to play in closet. You play with a shield along with Yeg or Romai, but again, it's not necessary to hold the closet. Foot, or mainly I would recommend head holes than foot. Same with here. I would recommend is foot holes over head just because obviously they can use it against you, but this kind of helps out a little bit more. Rotate with some vert. Traps all over site. Not here though. That'll probably be moved over somewhere else. It's hatch open, and you can see traps anyone walking up, but you'll just reinforce these full walls. Even if you're not holding closet, I would recommend just full reinforcing these walls, just so they don't get an angle in. But that's just personally up to you how you want to hold it. As long as you just are just not letting them get bathroom for free. Then you'll have a late roamer or early roamer is what I meant. Over here, you'll reinforce this wall, and then you'll make some head holes here. So this way you can just again just contest early. Watch for your gaps on red. That's why you bring the Valkyrie cameras, can kind of help out. But yeah, you just play out your info and teammates and you chilling. All right, if you're feeling hungry on Villa, you'll be going kitchen with a Cade, a Rooney, Thorn, and then you'll be making footholds here along with a rotate. Some reinforcements are optional there, but definitely need for this one, and traps all over the outsides of site. Once you have that, you'll have at least 2 roamers upstairs to contest any vert, get any first picks. We'll hold it the same as we did for last time, and the vert can also help a little bit, but just know you might be getting pressured off, and then Aruni will be light roaming around and living. So again, 3 people off site is ideal, 2 people on site is okay, but this is how all the setups and reinforcements will go, so make sure you pay close attention and just copy the exact same how it is. FYI, there are some holes here on red for the hop in. Are you lost on Fortress? Well, if you're lost, go ahead and bring some reinforcements for this wall and a zombie to hold here. Zombie, can you put a keep it here with some head holes, then with some traps on eagle side for any kind of walk up or walk down this tower. Then we'll be making some full holes here actually to contest with the reinforcement here, and then make a rotate, definitely footholds or reinforce off on here. That's not part of the setup, but yeah, we're gonna put some traps on that door. We definitely want to watch the courtyard walk in, but we'll be actually extending. This is optional, but you should do about 50% of the time if you are on like a decent level stack. Well, reinforcement here. This rotate allows us again to have that donut level of rotation. Reinforce this, make a head hole here if necessary, but we'll be holding here very, very early because teams tend to come here a lot. Thorn Trap, this is literally almost impossible to get on the drop down unless you have like a Twitch or something like that. This is about a minute 30 hold. When you get pressured off, when they start getting your dorms all open, you got to back up and then just dip site. Pop any goils if you need to, but yeah, then now we're full reinforced off, but that's how you do it. Again, just make sure you fill gaps. Eagle can be a gap, courtyard door can be a gap, horse, just make sure you guys stay alive for crossfires. If you get picked off early, the more you will have to watch. This is one of the best site on Fortress if you want to defend and get a free win. Bring Tuber out and Cade, and then you're gonna bring a Wamai Warden to hold the backside. So we'll be having a shield here, and then Wamai will just throw a ton of stuff. Make sure to pop this gas pipe early so it doesn't destroy your shield. And then you'll have an Aruni gate to help. Then you'll have reinforcement here. Full reinforces wall off so we can tuber out the wall. Same with this one here. Tuber out this one too if needed. Watch for shock drones on this drone hole over here and that one too. But yeah, cable to stay on the wall. We're just defend with DMRs, 3 DMRs, and yeah, that's how you do it. Again, avoid the early picks, watch your gaps. But again, this is kind of similar to throw bomb site on theme. You want to stay alive. Your winning condition is keeping the walls closed. And it's very important that Wamai does watch Warden's window hop in here. You can watch it very safely from here. Can't be seen from anywhere else. Just hold it right here. Now, if you want to cook up on kitchen on Fortress, full reinforced with Cade, head holes here, along with a rotate here. And then we'll be having this wall full reinforced off with some gates, some traps. Goyles is good. And med will have some sort of traps as well. Trap for laundry door. But while they hold down site, we're going to be holding upstairs with a Ella, and you can make vert above site if needed. We'll be reinforcing as if we're playing up here. Pretty nice, very nice. Again, just lightly hold upstairs if they come for you guys, but otherwise it's just kind of using ear. I play by ear of where they're coming in from and just play the crossfires. Late round, it's very okay to come bunker in kitchen and just play your goils in sight. But that's how you do it. Again, if the enemy doesn't really know what they're doing, just force them to come to site. That's probably the easiest way to do it. Now, moving on to Hammond, the win condition is keeping this wall closed. So you could bring Tuber out if he is on the board, if he's not already banned by then. But any kind of trap operator will hold all these doors over here. Bringing Warden with deployable shield because it's very popular to play for the plant on the wall. So if you want to bring C4 and Warden, that's good. But, you know, there's plenty of other people on this team that could have C4s. But you just want to have some sort of denial for this. We're going to full reinforce off, hatch reinforced, this reinforced. We're going to reinforce this way. But this is a very popular entrance point, so we'll be contesting that. Just be careful with that window being opened up. And then, yeah, it's really just traps around. Again, it's just roaming around. They most likely will be setting a lot of bodies this way and onto this window, so that's why Thorn will be playing over here. It's optional to go play Vert, but this bomb site I wouldn't say is as advanced yet. It just depends on what your enemies will be doing. So keep the wall closed, maybe contest Vert, and just wherever they're coming in from, just hold down sight as best you can. Moving on to Outback, we'll be bringing a Rooney as well, and lots of DMRs just for the long range holes. Reinforcement here with some rotates or some head holes. Same with right here. Rotate between sight. Foot holes here for any late round contestation. This wall doesn't necessarily need to be reinforced all the time, but I recommend just leaving it soft. So this way you can get an angle onto the breach. Then we have Tuber Cade for the wall. Thorn for any trying traps and the lockups. Capkin is really good here too. Very, very ratty map. Watch for this window hop in right here for a late round push. But yeah, it's very, very default. Again, Outback's a very ratty map. So if you can just hold your ankles, get a nice pick, it's nice. Vigil can play garage over here for drones and hopping out and just wherever he might get pushed from. But yeah, very, very nice bomb site. Pretty easy. Full reinforce off games and you chilling. Now, if you want to celebrate how good you're doing in right through put up based off this video, then you can go ahead and go party. We're going to be holding this whole wall down with some head holes on the side. Tuber for the main wall. Thorn Shield will be playing for here. Top Shark. And we'll make some head holes across site. So this way we can contest and actually look between the sites. Garage is a very good power point, so make sure we have traps down for every part of the windows. Traps on the bottom for the walk up. Holes here to contest. But yeah, it's going to be a very, very spread defense for the most part early on. Vigil can early roam over here, shoot some drones, but you just want to look for gaps. There's a lot of gaps here that could be happening throughout the round, so you want to be cautious on checking default cameras, see where they're coming in from. Yeah, just play the crossfires, trying to get picked off too early, and we good. All right, very last, we're on green and bedroom, keeping this wall closed with the rotate and some head holes into reptile and between sites. Then we will be putting a lot of traps into reptile hall with a lot of Renegates, barbed wire, whatever it may be. Well, we'll definitely be having one person we're playing here so we can see the head holes in the site, watching window gaps, and as well as holding upstairs a little bit. People want to watch in the window, that wall reinforced. You put a K-claw on that too, and then hatch reinforced. But yeah, just early contest here. Try to take a pick or two before you die. Try to fall back to site late round, however it may be for you. But yeah, it's a very rope heavy site for the first half of the round, and then eventually you can migrate down to the first floor. Very nice bomb site, really good for those 4-4 overtime match points. Moving on to Emerald Plains, and somehow you probably didn't ban this map and you got it by accident, but I got you. We're going to be going ahead and keeping this wall closed with Tuber and Cade. Chaps bottom green, one person sitting top green, holding on to this map control. You can even put a deployable shield right here to help control that. Watching for this far angle, but then we'll have another person, you know, roaming around the library side, keeping an eye on these windows, you know, preferably be a DMR player. Then you got this wall, full reinforced. Then we got some head holes in this wall to contest this window. Again, we want that full donut rotation. Then we got a piece of barbed wire at the bottom. But yeah, man, it's a trap heavy map. Just fucking shoot him. You know what I'm saying? Just like play a low aggro for the first pick or two, and then you guys can back up. But again, Emerald Plains is a very ratty map, so you get the advantage on defense just by literally just holding an angle somewhere, or even just swing or be swung. But yeah, man, play with confidence. Don't complain about you're on EP and you chilling. Moving on to gallery, we'll be keeping this wall full reinforced, this reinforced, along with some traps and K-claws and traps at the bottom of the staircase to hold on to the library. But yeah, we'll be again extending out. It's very similar to the other bomb site. traps at the bottom over there, reinforcing that single wall over here, and then full reinforcing this off so we kind of force them into this door. We have Cade, Tubra, whatever we may need, and then just traps, Capkin, Thorn, Rooney. This will help out a lot, dwindling down some health and finishing him off, softening him up. Just play with confidence, play it the exact same way as the other bomb site. And this is how we'll have this wall right here too, so just FYI. With a small rotate here, of course, into here. Moving on to dining, one of the better sites on Emerald for a bunker. We'll be closing off this wall fully with a wall here, or head holes, rotate, both reinforced. Now, ideally, you do want to reinforce both of these unless you're going to be holding up top, which is the wall upstairs to gallery. But besides them, two Brocade, Goyles, Capkins all over the map for that roam, then you'll get the hatch. But yeah, you can translate these two walls downstairs if they're not taking vert usually. But you do want at least 2 people off site early on to contest, like is anyone walking in, get a pick or 2. It will definitely help to not get a full 5 stacked ran down on kitchen. So that's why it is very important to roam and create pressure. But especially with this bomb site, you guarantee will be playing endgame. So people will try to be running through gates, freezer breach, kitchen door. So the longer you stay alive, the better for this bomb site. Moving on to Night Haven, one of the most comp maps in the game right now. We'll just be doing a very default Mira. If Mira is not banned, then you can just go ahead and bring like another chop op is okay. We'll be reinforcing all of those walls over there. Then we'll have a Rooney Gate here with any kind of trap on this window as well. And then we'll bring a zombie. A zombie will just help out with the gaps in sight when they open up stuff. 2 Brown K will try their best to keep this wall closed. You can make holes downstairs. If they have someone downstairs, you can translate like one player to go downstairs and play inside bottom storage to prevent them from going on the window too much. You'll be a zombie holding rafters. You are playing mostly to die right here, and you can make a rotate right here to make sure that you can get in and out of the site. But yeah, then you'll hold on to black water over there. But yeah, it's a very, you know, teamwork, rotation heavy site. So make sure you guys are staying alive and playing off your guys' teammates. It's very, very important. It could lose you the game. So yeah, it's just experience at this point, and you can mess around with different operators. Moving on to basement, we'll be bringing a bandit and 2 Brow. This will be very easy to trick the single wall, but 2 Brow can focus on the main wall if Bandit puts both of them down, and then Bandit can easily trick this one if Maverick is banned. Now we'll make head holes here, head holes here. You can even make some holes on the bottom in the middle of this lamp so you can see to the window. See for anyone trying to get you right now. Full holes here as well. Let's go check out the roam now. We have a Vigil and a Scopos. Scopos can easily transfer back to site if she's getting pressured. We have a small rotate up here. For the rummers, it's optional, but the storage one is helpful. But yeah, they'll be just mainly contesting upstairs, making sure they're delaying time. And you guys can leave the garage hatch soft if you guys want to rotate the reinforcements to garage. Just be careful more on site. But this one so allows them to, when they're finally getting pushed out, they can just drop this, especially when we don't have the Cade. They'll probably just end up getting it open anyways, but it's really just dependent on how you guys like to roam. But that is an option, FYI. If you're gonna pick a first floor site, definitely go storage over kitchen. The reason why it's better is because the vertical play is easier if you're watching Pro League. Now we're gonna be going ahead and making holes above vert with some traps. As you can see, with very heavy trap line up here, rotates here in sights if this game wants to work. U is good for intel, not necessarily for wall denial. We'll have some roamers kitchen, but most of the time we will be having at least 2 people upstairs to hold up here. We can make vert above sight if we wanted to. Get this hatch open, full reinforce this. Mute jammers are just for the intel, so we can play close shotguns up here. If you can't bring wall denial, that would be nice, but it's optional because you're just holding up here just to waste time. But yeah, you just hold up like it's upstairs. Then once you gotta get pressured out, minute 30, just drop, play with your teammates, and then force them to come down, watch your flanks. And then late round, you can always walk up and recontest vert. So that'd be very nice. Now moving on to kitchen, we will be getting the hatch open outside. Then we'll be holding upstairs lightly with any kind of trap operator. You can even make holes right here to contest the window, hop in here and here. You have this whole wall reinforced for any kind of good rotates. But once we kind of do that, we'll have about maybe 1 to 2 people upstairs. That'll help contest the vert. I think 2 is ideal. And then 1 person can be around here in the lobby, doesn't really contest. But if you get pressured out, you're just better off as to fall back to site. Wall cated with 2 Burrow. DMRs, you know what I'm saying? And then we have the wall reinforced here for some cover. This full reinforced, Goyles for sights. And then we have this full wall opened up for feet holes for the hatch drop. This is reinforced for storage. And over here, you can put like another trap operator somewhere around here. But again, we're just having a good donut formation of rotation, and then one person contesting up for vert. But yeah, man, that's how you do it. And then, you know, be life for sight. Moving on to the layer. Now, you'll just be putting a mirror. If you don't have a mirror, a zombie is okay to protect this wall. Otherwise, if you can even just full reinforces off and just play the funnel here. You can even throw a C4 right above here on this door. You just toss it over and then boom, and land on the double door for anyone pushing there. Always reinforce the left side right here, so that way you guys can get more of a tighter angle and obviously cover on the breach more. Okay, tip around, try to keep the wall closed, rotate here, head holes here, boils to help deny sight. And this mirror is just for the back side. If anyone takes the bathroom or that long haul, you can play this mirror on them and then peek out. Just watch out for this window hop into. That could help. A Rooney will be very, very good on this site too. And then you have some footholes here, just so that way you guys can help contest bathroom. You can even make this holes a little bit larger if needed. Have some traps in the bottom here. But yeah, that's how you would do it. Watch for the bottom vert too. You can even have one person go downstairs to watch anyone trying to get below you. Otherwise, pretty nice though. Moving on to basement on the layer, we'll be making head holes across this wall with a reinforcement and a reinforcement here as well. We need that. And then we'll have a reinforcement here, some footholes here, all full reinforced, just to, you know, any way you would like to contest. Then full reinforced garage too. We're going to be getting the 2 hatches, which is right here, and the other one that is in sight. Oh yes, you can see we have traps just on every single gap and door in sight. A renegade would be really good here as well. And for our early roam, we will just be making a small rotate right here, and then you'll just be like trying to shoot drones, see where they're coming in from, maybe get a pick. Otherwise, we'll be coming back down because you don't want them to execute with 5-man up on a basement site. If they're pushing garage side as well, then you guys can just play them into your Goyos and DMRs. But yeah, it's a very slow defense, so you do definitely want to be extending. You don't want to give too much map control up too early. All right, for bunks and briefing, we'll be holding on just locating off the yellow wall, the outside wall with a rotate, and then some feet holes here for the walk-in and some gates. This wall is optional reinforced if you do feel like you want to play in here more. Otherwise, you can go move those upstairs. Traps all over just for the first floor, and then we'll be just extending out just a little bit into green pillar in the hallway here. But we want to at least contest it a little bit. You can do this with a zombie too, would be really nice. Otherwise, we'll have some people upstairs, make a rotate. We can see vert into sight, as long as to sight door here too. And if you make more, you can see into a lot of the site, and then obviously you can make holes above the main wall here. It's about right here. Otherwise, yeah, you kind of just want to just listen up for sound cues. We'll reinforce off the hatch, and then the trap ops can help you guys a lot for upstairs. Vigil on the roam too. Mainly just try to hold a little bit of vert and hold the outside map control, and you'll definitely be running into a lot of them and making the push a lot harder. All right, moving on to the last bomb set of weapon and maintenance. You can just go for some Aruni gates on here, full kit off this wall with all of this reinforced off. It's optional if you want to make a med rotate into here, depending on how often you guys want to be roaming outside. But you definitely want to be holding outside just a little bit, patrolling outside. I'd say at least 2 roamers for the site. Then you'll be holding upstairs a little bit, because the upstairs is where you want to contest the vert. Cast off rocket door. Castle is option. It's just kind of a demonstration for now. We'll be reinforcing off these 2 walls outside, so this we can hold up here a bit better, and then reinforcing the hatch. We want to prevent them from making any kind of like ram sledge, or at least contest it a bit. We can always play a retake up here in case they do start pushing up here. I wouldn't recommend making vert for sight, because if they take control of this room, they can just use it against you, so you can use it late round. But yeah, just try to contest it up here, kill anyone, rocket side, watch for breach, and worst case, you can always go and make vert above this breach if the remaining is pushing here. Moving on to the new map casino, we'll be starting off with a reinforcement here, with a rotate into little cigar humidor is what it looks like it's called. People might call it the shop. But we have any kind of barbed wire for Aqua over here, because this is a late backstab. Reinforce that wall. A BP or any kind of barbed wire would be nice over there. Make head holes for lobby, along with head holes here. You can experiment with foot holes, head holes, whatever is more comfortable for you. Be full reinforcing this wall off the lobby. We'll be full reinforcing off Barista, because Barista is just a late round. It's going to get given up. 2 brow will be for the main wall. You can do some invincible Ks if Thatcher is banned. Then you can put a claw here, claw up there. It can't get grenaded. Then Warden will be playing here, or anyone with a zombie can be playing in Barista with a shield, SMG 12 and 11 or shotgun. Gotta want to be careful of this wall here too, but that's why you can have a teammate inside lobby to help you out. We're just down a teammate right now, but you'll hold on to here as long as you can until you get picked out. Now, when this wall does get open, you might have to give it up. Reinforce this wall off. This will cause a lot of trouble late rounds, so you just want to reinforce that. And then yeah, this is bulletproof, by the way. They can plant behind here, so you need to be careful. So if you want to play behind here, it is bulletproof, but make sure you are watching Aqua, because if you lose control of Aqua, the round could be over. Moving on to the basement of Casino, we'll be going ahead and just putting in a rune gate on the backside here with some traps, and we have an angle you can get all the way into the door. And then we have this right here. This could go either side. Just depends on which way you kind of like more comfortable with, as long as you have access over there. A yellow rotate is optional if the team is on board for it. Otherwise, you just want to full reinforces off, but this will help contest yellow and also just contest, you know, for this yellow walk down too. Otherwise, it's better to reinforce it. Just make sure everyone's on the same page. This wall should be closed off for default plan, as long as keeping these walls closed and extending into cache here. Weapon also is good for traps. Make sure some barbed wires on the staircase over here. But yeah, we're just gonna just try our best to just push them out. You will want at least maybe one roamer, I'd say, to go upstairs and see if you can try to just kill anyone early. Otherwise, if the ram is banned, then you don't have to roam as heavy. This rotate should go on the left side here, so that way these people can't hold the rotate if it's all the way over here. But this way you can get into here with cover. Now for poker and blackjack, we'll be closing off both of these walls with bandits. Then we will bring a Goyle for sight. A Rooney is also good. We'll be reinforcing these walls. Now, this is really just up to your team, but you can make head holes here to contest as long as you're closing these off too. Just again, depends on your team and how you guys like it, but a little gate right here. But just so that way we can at least just roam over here and just keep some sort of map control alive. We'll be reinforcing the hatch upstairs. It would actually be a smart play to make some vert above sights. You can do that with a Solus or anyone you like. Anyone just I can open it up. You don't want to just keep some good information, but we'll just try to keep the site wall closed while we have like 2 roamers outside the map just looking for picks. It's just very simple as like a default first floor site. Keep site closed and uncontested while using vert to contest. But yeah, go for a few picks and make sure you guys are aware of what you guys are holding, because although there are a lot of holes in sight, you want to be careful of, you know, if someone's not watching something. Now, moving on to last site, bar and betting. This definitely is one of the trickier bomb sites, as it is usually not played enough. Blackjack is usually more popular, but I'm going to try my best to give you guys my best setup for this one. But it's very interesting because there are a lot of defenders sided holes here. Depending on how you use this, if you can hold control of that with a zombie, you can use this angle for anybody trying to repel in to green here, or you can even use it as an attacker. We'll have a zombie hold here along with this hallway, and then just an early contest, we'll have Thorn play over here in poker to try to get a pick. And then we'll have most of site reinforced as well. With a zombie, a Rooney, and bandit, we should be able to keep a lot of these walls closed. This is an interesting rotate because only defenders can use this rotate for like any kind of late round if you need or stuck in here. We can also use this to contest anybody on the repellents here. You just kind of just repelled funnel them through this door. But you do want roamers. You definitely want to be picking off at least 1 to 2 before you start bunkering site. Otherwise, they will get some vert down above site and the hatch as well, which is going to be right here. But that's what I would say is the best way to attack or defend this bomb site until a new meta comes out.